Bill, hello. Hi. I hope you're listening today. 310-840-4910 if you are. 310-840-4910. Bill called in immediately following the show yesterday. Bill in the six. And said, I don't want to hear about LeBron anymore. It's the middle of baseball season. Where's my baseball talk? We're going to fill out our All-Star ballot in just a second. But Bill, this is for you. This segment, filling out our All-Star ballots, because your fan base in Toronto has ruined the All-Star ballots. It's your fault, Bill. You hear me? It's all on you, Bill. I'm making you the representative for the entirety of Blue Jays fandom, Bill. Bill in Toronto, the way Blue Jays fans stuffed the ballot box. And by the way, this is stupid. It really is, that we have these rounds of voting where at first you vote amongst everyone, all the players available, and then they whittle it down to one or two at each position. Yeah, literally one. Like they've already told us, sorry, Ernie Clement's the starter at second base for the American League. Sorry, Shohei's the DH for the National League. No need to vote on those positions, guys. We decided them for you. But Blue Jays fans are the reason you have a Blue Jays player in the finalist position at every position for the American League. Alejandro Kirk is hitting 183 and is one of the two finalists for the AL catcher spot. Andre Jimenez is hitting 247 with a 667 OPS, one of the finalists at shortstop for the AL. Kazuma Okamoto, granted 19, 20 home runs, whatever he has, is hitting 236, a finalist at third base. Vladdy Guerrero has a sub 700 OPS and could barely get back out onto the field after having to use the bathroom in between innings last night. And he's one of the finalists at first base. So first and foremost, let's acknowledge that MLB made the process for All-Star voting stupid. Old man shaking fist at cloud. I want my little cardboard paper ballot, and I want to be able to punch out the holes while I'm sitting there in the morning before a Sunday afternoon game at the ballpark, listening to Mel Allen, watching it on the Jumbotron. This weekend, baseball, and Ozzie Smith is doing a backflip, all right? Child of the 80s. That's what I want. Sorry, I got that part out of the way. I can live with, I'm a millennial / Gen Xer, right on the cusp there between the two. I've learned how to use technology. I know how to vote online for the All-Star game. But look at the options you've given me. They're garbage, a lot of them. They are. So I did end up placing my votes for both leagues. In the American League, I had no choice but to take Ernie Clement, although he's actually deserving. He's the one Blue Jay who is actually deserving of a spot in the starting lineup for the American League. Shea Langoliers at catcher, Ben Rice at first base, Junior Caminero at third base, Bobby Witt at short. Fingers crossed he's healthy enough for the All-Star game and ready to go. Byron Buxton, Aaron Judge, and Mike Trout in the outfield. Speaking of healthy enough and ready to go, let's cross one of them off the list there. And Yordan Alvarez at DH. It's hard to not... I have an old school philosophy about if you're leading the league in hitting, you should be an all-star regardless. Like if you're leading in homers, ribbies, or average, you should be an all-star. I don't know if it necessarily means that Yandy starts over Yordan Alvarez, though. I don't think it should. Anyway, National League. Drake Baldwin catcher, Matt Olson first, Ozzie Albies second. Thanks to the Braves fans for stuffing the ballot box as well. Max Muncy third, CJ Abrams short. Brandon Marsh, Andy Pages, and Juan Soto in the outfield. Ohtani's already plugged in as the DH. You can't even vote for someone else. That's who I voted for. Now, is that who I think should actually be the starters? No. You should have left it wide open, and there should be an element of actually picking the best players to this. So I put together my all-star starting lineups. Bill, I hope you're enjoying this. This is baseball talk, pal. Thanks for ruining the voting so Alejandro Kirk can maybe be a starting catcher hitting under 200. Go Jays. My actual starting lineups would go like this. Nick Kurtz at first for the AL. Ernie Clement at second. Junior Caminero at third. Those two, okay, yeah, I like those. Bobby Witt at short, again, big fan. Dylan Dingler from Detroit catching. And then I had Buxton, Trout, and Judge in the outfield, but I understand Judge isn't going to be ready for the All-Star game, most likely. If you had to find an alternate, I guess you'd go with Cody Bellinger. I could live with that. Alvarez is the DH, and Cam Schlittler would be my starting pitcher, who, by the way, goes tonight at home against the Tigers and Tarek Skubal. My National League All-Star starting lineup would look like this. Bryce Harper at first. You're all going to call me homers. I'm sorry. Brandon Lau at second. I mean, the man's just hitting dinger after dinger. He's on pace for like 110 RBIs. Max Muncy at third. The Dodgers' Max Muncy. Oh, by the way, did you hear Max Muncy played against Max Muncy last night? A block on Sportsnet. CJ Abrams at short, although an honorable mention to Otto Lopez for the Marlins. Again, if you're leading the league in hitting, you've got to be an all-star. But Abrams would be my starter. Hunter Goodman, who could hit 50 homers, thank you, Coors Field, for the Rockies this year, would be my catcher. And then Andy Pages in the outfield, along with Jordan Walker. And yes, I would have PCA in as an all-star. Kyle Schwarber would be my DH. And The Miz, nobody beats The Miz. Jacob Mizorowski would be my starting pitcher for the National League. Those would be my all-star starting lineups. I hope you agree with that, Bill. Can't help but notice you didn't pick up the phone and call today. Sorry. In all seriousness, thank you, Bill. We appreciate your passion for the game of baseball here on Westwood One Sports. We do. And we appreciate you reaching out to the show. But the next time we talk baseball, you better be on the horn, calling back and saying, hey, thanks, guys. I didn't want to hear about another LeBron offseason rumor. I appreciate you talking about Alejandro Kirk hitting 190.